Andrew, your reaction to what we've seen on the weekend. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Nick. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the idiots rioting completely drown out the legitimate concerns that I and millions of others have.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put my head above the parapet here, Nick, and say that even if every single protest had been as peaceful as a gathering of Trappist monks at a mountaintop monastery in Tibet, yet morons like Starmer and Cooper, and aided and abetted by all the usual left-wing shills in broadcasting, would still have sought to portray those people as far-right and undesirables, because throwing that term around with complete abandon means that you don't have to deal with the problem.
I think if they'd marched peacefully, Andrew, do you not think that would have been accepted? You don't see that, sir?
No, I don't. I think the narrative from Starmer is that everybody who opposes the demographic tsunami that's taken place in this country over the last 2 decades is far right, and that our concerns must be just airbrushed out of existence.
Well, that can't be allowed to happen.
No, unfortunately, the idiots rioting have not only cost me as a taxpayer money, they've cost you money and many other people, and they've actually worsened the case. But the legitimate concerns are still there. And
I think that what Keir Starmer said in his statement is going to make it worse, and I'll explain to you why. Because he only referred to people that are far right, whereas he didn't say all people, which would include Muslim people, like in Leeds a week or so ago, like the guy that hit someone in the head with a hammer yesterday. Who was a Muslim. It should be everybody. It shouldn't be singled out to one particular group. Anybody doing that should be arrested.
Do you agree that the thuggery we witnessed in the country over the country this weekend, the thuggery is down to the far right?
Well, no, because there was thuggery in Leeds 2 weeks ago, and that wasn't far-right people.
Can we just limit it to this weekend, which is what got the Prime Minister to make his emergency address? Are you telling me that people who have valid concerns about how immigration issues are handled in this country, you're telling me they're the sort of people who throw nailed planks at police officers? Because I just don't agree with you, Rudy.
I don't agree with anyone throwing anything. I don't think violence will contribute.
The point I'm making...
Those people were not even far right. Those people were just like football hooligans. They're just thugs. The way they are, they've just gone out in order to cause trouble. They're not even interested in the cause. They've just seen an opportunity, in my opinion, just to cause the trouble.
Some might be interested in the cause, but many will be piggybacking off the death of 3 young girls, which everyone seems to have forgotten, of course, that 3 innocent girls went for a day's dancing and ended up fatally stabbed.
But I think it's bigger than that, Nick, no. I think it is when they've taken away the pensioners' winter fuel allowance, and they're seeing asylum seekers in 5-star hotels, having 3 meals a day, having spending money, it's going to rub people up the wrong way.
I'm with you on that. That's the point. And I do think that Sir Keir needed to say, I hear your objections and I am aware, I'm alive to your concerns about people arriving in this country. But this sort of thuggery cannot be tolerated, Chandra is in Newcastle, been hanging on the line. You want to respond to what you heard from Yvette Cooper. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Thanks for taking my call again. If I can use a medical analogy, what Yvette Cooper is talking about is just a symptom. If my body, one of the internal organs has got severe infection and is in a serious condition, my body will display high temperature, and country burning is just the symptom. What's underlying it is something more complex, intergenerational. And for Yvette Cooper to not even entertain what might be behind this and just talk about the people who are coming out on streets and carrying out criminal acts is intellectual poverty, in my opinion.
Can I ask you, what did, as I've asked a couple of other callers, what did you want to hear?
I am the sort of person who these thugs want to beat up and express their anger. But despite being who I am, I see some legitimacy to the concerns that are being had. I mean, there are people of certain socioeconomic background for generations who have been disenfranchised, and a majority of them are white working class, and in certain communities where they're deprived of access to resources, and they have concerns, a broad range of concerns, and immigration is one of them.
Yes.
And to not talk to them and to dehumanize them repeatedly is unhelpful. This is not going to solve the problem.
Susan in Letchworth. Susan, what again do you want to hear from a Prime Minister or a Home Secretary?
I think that I was just watching some programmes on Adolf Hitler. Sorry to bring him into it. No, but he had
interesting choice. No Strictly Come Dancing this weekend, I suppose.
He had utter hatred, a complete hatred for Marxists, for Jews, and here we are. I can't believe it in 2024, and really, have we learned nothing? It's an utter disgrace.
Susan, to the people who say we need to get a check of illegal immigration in this country, what would you say?
I agree, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we should love one another. Absolutely love. Rules and love.
So I'm thinking of many of my callers and emailers who have real concerns because they see the pressure on doctors, they see the pressures on the NHS and on housing, and they want the problem solved. They would no sooner chase after a police officer or set fire to a food bank than they dance naked on the stage of the English National Opera. So that is where, how do we address that? So I hear what you say, but respectfully, this is like Hitler. What have we learned? Nothing. It's not like Hitler. We've got a section of law-abiding people in this country who've said it's just not working for us. Susan.
I think that my analysis of the situation is, and I know you don't agree with me because I have different politics from you,
that's
but
fine.
I think
I respect
that's
that. Yvette Cooper and I get on brilliantly, but that's no problem.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm a mixture of being right wing and left wing. I think you have to be right wing with yourself and self-reliant, but I do think we have to have compassion for people who are disenfranchised, etc. So I think there does need to be more taxes
for people in our own country. Why would we stop payments to old age pensioners, some of whom that winter allowance is just enough so that they can buy their grandchildren Christmas gifts or something like that? Why would we support that and seem to do nothing about people coming across the country?
Because we don't believe in universal benefits in this country. We've moved to means-tested benefits. And so I suppose you could argue, there's an argument on both sides, an incredibly wealthy pensioner, why is it fair that he or she...
I agree.
Yeah, it's
absolutely absurd.
Come on. Yeah.
No, I know that was ridiculous. But I'm thinking more, so they just the wrong end of the cut-off point that the government have introduced. But then those same people will see £6 million a day spent on some hotels for a situation that's not been rectified for decades.